Hello, you may have heard of medium is the message, but have you heard of medium is a metaphor? Now, anyone who studied media will know of Marshall McLuhan, who came up with the phrase, the medium is the message, meaning that the medium, the tool, the object of media, channel of media, is inherently suggesting something about our culture, society, etc., just by nature of what it is. So what I mean is, let's take glasses, for example. When glasses first came out, you might think, well, surely this is something to do with fixing our vision, and that's all that glasses were for. But actually, if you look between the lines, the invention of glasses also suggests something about the human race advancing from just being a natural organism to extending the organism through tools and creations, etc. So it's not just as simple as looking at the tools of media and seeing what they do on the surface. This theory, media theory, medium is the message, is talking about how the tools actually change our perspective. That's what McLuhan was saying. Now, there's someone called Neil Postman who came up with the medium as a metaphor. Now, he's saying that not only does it change our perspective, but it also shapes our society, politics, culture, religion, etc. Right? Just another example off the top of my head was a clock. If you look at a clock, you think, okay, that's there to tell us the time in hours and minutes. But before clocks existed, there was no such thing as hours and minutes. Maybe there's a sun clock, I suppose, but even that's a clock, right? So you would just look at the sun and be like, oh, okay, it's about the afternoon, oh, okay, it's about the evening, and then that would be that, right? But the importance of the clock is not the time in minutes, it's suggesting, okay, now we have turned nature into numbers and we're sort of digitizing everything. And that was the start of the trend for digitization in the generations to come, right? So it's not about just looking at things on the surface, but also looking at what they suggest. Now, like, one of the original mediums was speech, right? So I would be able to speak to maybe the 150 people in my commune when I was a caveman or whatever. Then, maybe after that, a tool we used would be, for long distance communication, would be smoke signals. But the problem is, with smoke signals, you can't really do any abstract thinking. You can't really just look at the clouds in the sky and be like, is that what he's saying? There's just limited amount of information you can send at long distance. But then, behold, writing things down. That gave birth to the field of philosophy. Since philosophy, it doesn't have to be written down, but when trying to remember someone's premise 1, premise 2, and their conclusion and all the arguments, it does help to have something written down. And also, when one has deep and abstract ideas and they write them down and they put them into either a book or they write them on a cave wall, that can then be read by and consumed by other people sort of an infinite number of times and distributed, well, all across the globe. So that changes the situation of talking from person A to B and just saying like, oh, I actually think this, oh, do you think that? Oh yeah. That has just been expanded by, times 100, because now anyone anywhere can read what's written down and then, correct it and all sorts of things, right? So it's just changed the way of communication, right? So it's not just about writing things down, now we have words. It's that has now shaped our capacity for philosophy, and also it shaped the way we consume information and how our society is structured. So that's print media, right? The stuff that's written down, which is usually logical, it's linear, it goes in an order, and it actually makes the consumer, the reader, think for themselves about what information is being fed to them. It allows for more critical thinking and space for, actually, I don't quite believe in that, or I want to look that up later or question that part specifically, right? Whereas with a lot of our media, it has been almost not televised, but sort of the telefication of media, if that's a word, is a big problem, because now everything is entertainment based. If it's not entertaining, chances are you might not have the willpower to consume it or watch it. Think about politics, right? No longer do we just read about a politician in the newspaper. We watch debate shows where figures from, in politics in important positions of power will debate each other, and we have to we assess how they look. For example, with Trump, people used to say like, "Oh, orange man," or whatever, and it's a whole new battlefield. No longer is it about necessarily their manifesto or what's written down in the paper. It's how are they performing on TV, on shows. Now, TV, it's obviously just an older term for what I'm calling internet video medium, basically, but you get the general gist of what I'm saying here. So that sort of entertainmentification of media has completely changed, our politics. Things like this video, you're consuming information to learn, perhaps you're interested in media, in a more entertaining format than just reading a book, for example, or maybe it's more personalized. There are pros and cons to it, but what I'm trying to say is print media is definitely reclining, and the whole televisation of things suggests that our society is getting more indulgent, is more infatuated with instant gratification and direct access to information and quickness and brevity, rather than slow paced media and depth and thinking things over a long time. So that's just like the general trend, which is beautifully summed up by the medium is a metaphor. So that was the sort of conclusion of that video. I hope any information here was helpful to you. I'm still studying media myself, but I will be making more explainer videos on topics and ideas and things that I learn over the course of the next year. So please, stay tuned, and thank you for watching. Thank you very much.